Hey guys, so recently a buyer saw one of my videos and reached out because they noticed that I was a Brooklyn Heights expert. And it's true, I've done a ton of business in this neighborhood from 500K and under to 5 million and over. And so I thought, you know what? Let's do a tour of Brooklyn Heights and I can show you the neighborhood, what all those price points get you in 2026, and any other random beautiful insights that we come across. Let's go.
Brooklyn Heights is New York's first designated historic district. The architecture is protected, which is why, or at least part of the reason why, the values hold so well in this amazing neighborhood. The Brooklyn Promenade is arguably the best view in all of Brooklyn, and walking it in any season, in any weather, is really a treat. You can see all of Lower Manhattan. You see the boats come in and out of the harbor. It's just something truly amazing to behold. Brooklyn Bridge Park is right down there, right at your doorstep, and you have so many amazing things to do down there, including walking the park area to seeing different events, different festivities. In addition to that, you have Montague Street, which is the main commercial strip, which has restaurants and cafes and shops and all that really great stuff. Plus you have the great transit, which is the 2, 3, 4, 5 at Borough Hall, the A-C lines at High Street, the R at Cord Street. So really you're 15 minutes from Manhattan, basically anywhere you go. And that's why this area draws families, professionals, downsizers, upsizers, and Manhattan transplants who want to have the space without losing the city feel. Okay, let's start with Tier 1. That's homes under $1 million. We're talking about mainly co-ops, actually pretty much exclusively co-ops. And we're talking about studios and small one-bedrooms in the area. And the entry point is surprisingly affordable. Yes, one bedrooms generally go for around $900,000, but certain co-ops on Hicks, you can get a studio for $300,000, $400,000. That will get you into the neighborhood, get you understanding what life looks like in Brooklyn Heights, and understanding what life looks like with a co-op. If you want to know more about co-ops, I have a whole explainer video that you can click on in the description below. But know that you're buying shares in a corporation, not sort of traditional real estate. But that's not a bad thing because 80% of the housing stock in New York City will be co-ops. So that under 1 million Tier 1 budget price point is definitely possible in Brooklyn Heights. Can get you in there to understand the flavor of the neighborhood. Okay, Tier 2. That's homes between $1 million and $2.5 million. So this is sort of the sweet spot of most Brooklyn Heights buyers. This opens up solid 2-bedroom and bigger units, and both co-ops and some condos, and we're talking bigger pre-war co-ops that have been renovated with real living room space, a dining room, multiple exposures, likely, sometimes washer, dryer, and units. You're talking about converted brownstones with thoughtful original details, and this is where that sort of co-op versus condo decision really matters. Obviously, or maybe not obviously, co-ops will be lower price per square foot. There is a board approval, and there's stricter financing, and there's sublet restrictions, and various things like that. But it's going to be cheaper to purchase and cheaper to carry, typically. And then with condos, that's like regular real estate. And there's more flexibility with that. It's typically a little bit easier to finance, but you're going to be paying, 15 to 30% premium over a similar sized co-op. So for most buyers, whether you're a young family or coming from Manhattan, this is the range where Brooklyn Heights starts to make a lot of sense because there's some really, really choice, beautiful places, and you can definitely fall in love with a unit and really sort of start to build real community and real love for Brooklyn Heights. Okay, now tier 3, which is 2.5 million to 5 million. And now we're getting more into the premium tier. You're talking about large condos and high-end co-ops. You're talking about 3, 4-bedroom units with views. You're talking about newer developments like One Clinton, which is the 38-story tower anchored by the Brooklyn Library branch down at the bottom. You know, you're talking about amenities, doorman, fitness center, residence terrace. You're talking about Quay Towers in Quay Tower in Brooklyn Bridge Park, which has a roof deck, concierge, children's center. And you're talking about floor-through prime brownstones in the area with the kind of original millwork, fireplaces, garden access, stuff that people really fall in love with and really pay premium for. And often you're talking about full amenity buildings with a doorman, with gym, with roof deck, with kids playroom, that sort of stuff. So this is where Brooklyn Heights starts competing head to head with Manhattan luxury, except you get a neighborhood feel on top of it, and you get a sort of blue chip stock in Brooklyn that is always going to be in demand, that will always be beautiful, that will always be drawing more and more people. And I think that's going to appreciate at a higher rate than something similar in Manhattan. Okay, then there is tier 4. That's $5 million plus homes in Brooklyn Heights. And this is the top of the market. So think full brownstone townhouses starting at around $5 million, going well into the teens. Some have sold for $16, $17, $18 million plus. 20s, into the 20s, you know? It's totally possible. And really, because of the interest from Manhattan buyers coming into Brooklyn Heights, I think it's just getting started to see how high these prices can go. So, you're thinking multi-story homes with private gardens, possible potential for rental income on the lower floor, home office setup. You're thinking the fruit streets, cranberry, orange, pineapple. These are some of the most coveted blocks in the neighborhood. Columbia Heights along the promenade commands the highest premiums because it has views of all of Manhattan, or lower Manhattan, the boats, the sky. I mean, it is gorgeous. It is literally where movie stars live. It is literally where movies are filmed. It is the most coveted parts of Brooklyn Heights. So this is legacy Brooklyn real estate. These homes don't turn over often, and when they do, they move fast. So if you're in this range, you need to be ready. So reach out to me. I have the sauce on all these places, and I can get you in as soon as they come to market, and likely before they do.
All right, guys, we did it. I'm super happy you got to check out all the different price points in Brooklyn Heights. If you're interested in more, I have a free Brooklyn Heights buyer's guide. It's linked in the description. And if you are serious about purchasing in Brooklyn Heights, feel free to reach out. We'll schedule a quick free 15-minute call just to figure out budget, your timelines, you know, things that'll affect your actual move into this beautiful neighborhood. And if you're interested in more information about living in Brooklyn, about life in New York City, well, feel free to subscribe. And I think there's going to be a link to a new video, maybe right there you'll like. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.